Plenty Valley FM presents Sig's Flicks.
And the big man of movies is on the line right now. So good morning to you, Sig.
Oh, yes, good morning, Bill. And how are you going yourself?
Not too bad at all. I've just had some French food delivered by Lucci this morning with, starting off with something that everybody loves, and I can't remember what the name of it was now. And then we went into a cassoulet and then into creme brulee. And it was the cheese, the brie cut in half and then wrapped with prosciutto and then put in the oven. And
it sounds delicious.
Exactly. Can you whip some up for me and I'll be around for lunch?
Oh, well, it's a bit hard up here in Fort Douglas.
Oh, crikey. You're still in bed?
Yeah. No. Getting around a bit. About ready to head out. But, it's nice up here. You've been up here, of course.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's lovely up there. And it's, what temperature down here? 6 degrees at the moment. It's probably about 18 up there at the moment, is it?
16, 18 going on 22.
Right. Enjoy, mate, enjoy. Now, tell us a little bit about the Scandinavian Film Festival. You whetted our appetite last week.
Yes, exactly. There's a bit more on the Scandinavian I've got for you now. Several films to, as you say, whet your appetite. It's been going well. It's just started, and it goes right through to 2 August, so you can see a lot of these films right through, and I'll be holding over some of the big blockbuster reviews, like, for example, Mission Impossible coming up next week, but that was pretty stunning. But for the Scandinavian, anyway, once again, you can check it out at, spell it all out in one word. You know the routine. The website is ScandinavianFilmFestival.com.
I'm looking at it right now.
Just for the information, there's no AU on this, but... so several others. You got films coming in, as I said, once again, from Finland, as you can imagine. You got one in from Iceland this year, and a couple from Norway, many from Sweden, and we got some screamers that I mentioned last week, some weird and wonderful horror films and suspense films. Got a bit of a feature on that one, but there's several you can get through. But... first off, I've got one that will be released later on, Godland, and in this you can see from August 16th, if you miss it at the festival, right through now for the next couple of weeks. But this is quite an interesting film. It's pretty long, 142 minutes, comes in at a bit of lengthy run there. But we got the second run after A White Day from director Hilmar Palmason. And this time we have a Danish priest. He goes on a pilgrimage across Iceland and in the late 1800s. And like a normal priest, he's pretty young and naive. He wants to go across and photograph the people and set up a church. And he gets a little bit of resistance from the people, as you can imagine. He's accompanied by a translator and a guide to help him out a bit. And he's got to go across this amazing countryside, which is just really incredible in Iceland. Nice photography, as you can imagine, with glaciers and rivers and everything, and it's pretty good. But he's got a problem. He's strayed from his original purpose on this, and he's as he gets further into the island, into the countryside, some interesting things happen, which test his faith and test his purpose, and they go through there. So interacting with some of the people and trying to get more and more inland to spread the word, as a priest would do. So once again, really good photographer in this one, and you can see. So it's a real moral dilemma for this man. You can see it from August 17th if you don't get it at the festival. Once again, that's called Godland. And
there's a guy by the name of Sigurdsson in it.
Exactly, yeah. There's another one of the cast members, Ingvar Sigurdsson. He's not my son, but no relation involved there. Scandinavian Film Festival is really close to my roots, which are more Sweden. But that would be recommended. Godland.
Beautiful.
Another one you might want to see. Copenhagen Does Not Exist. This is a strange film. You can imagine, and this is coming in at 100 minutes, much shorter, and from Denmark, as you can imagine, with Copenhagen in the title. And we have a young 30-something guy who's, well, not young, and he's 3 months after his girlfriend mysteriously and totally disappears. Her father makes an interesting arrangement where he pays him to be locked in a room and interrogated. This is not real heavy and not real gross and violence. It's just he's actually going through to try and find out, questioning this man to find out what happened to his daughter. And it's an intriguing story, and it's very claustrophobic, mostly in the room with the father and the son of the father and the brother of the sister that's disappeared. That this boyfriend's being interrogated about, or not really interrogated. I suppose question would be more the phrase, but it's quite a good role from the father, Lotto Munich, and he's quite insistent, but he's pretty got preconceived ideas. He's really sure that the boyfriend's involved with this and wants to find out what happened. But all is not what it seems, as you can imagine, is usually the case. And it's pretty well a three-hander between the three of them. And the son is pretty well does what his dad wants, and he films a lot of it, and to go over later. And to try and get to the bottom and find out what happened to the daughter, what happened to the girlfriend. And this is 3 months later, a long time, and we'll see how we go. And apparently they chose to, the boyfriend and the missing daughter and girlfriend chose to cut themselves off from the world right in the middle of the city, Copenhagen, and to become a bit closer to that. And they developed from there. And, what happened, I can't really go on any further, of course. But, this is well photographed, well acted, especially from the father. Copenhagen Does Not Exist. That's pretty well done.
Well, it's a beautiful place, Copenhagen. So how could you cut yourself off from everyone in Copenhagen? Yeah.
Well, this is it. This is a very, very true thing. It's a beautiful place, but they want to, become closer to each other and a little bit more intimate. And this is the path they've chosen, and the development from there. I don't want to go into towards later in the film. Sort of reflects on that. But the father is very insistent, and the son sort of went along with him as well. So Copenhagen Does Not Exist. Okay, moving along, we have a few other films which you might want to check out. For example, Unruly. And this one, once again from Denmark, is an incredible situation based on true events, where there's a pretty famous institution on the Danish island of Sprogo in the 1930s. And that's where we have the situation where authorities deem some of the young women are a little bit ill-mannered and possibly promiscuous. They've got to go to this island and learn how to become proper young ladies. And, it seems a bit oppressive, but it is. And we've got a free-spirited woman. This is Maren. It's played very well by Emily Croyer and Emily Croyer-Koppel. And she is one of these girls. She likes to go out and have a dance, have a bit of fun, and she may or may not be a little bit promiscuous. She's a young 20-something growing up, or a little bit younger. And she gets sent off to this island, and she gets paired up with one of the girls who's been there a long time and has pretty well been conditioned already, and has become pretty well a spy and a mouthpiece for the leader, the evil director, Miss Nielsen, and she is looking after everyone and trying to keep throwing. But this free-spirited young girl just doesn't want to necessarily buckle under some of the rules here, because that's the way she is. She's not particularly a bad person, but just a young person growing up and having a bit of fun. And why not? So this is a pretty well an indictment on the situation, as I say, based pretty well on a true story, the way things goes on Sprogo. And it's an incredible interaction between the girls, and to try and some of them are quite compliant. Some of them go through these things. Some of them have been there for many years. and she's just wondering, what's going on here? What have I really done that's been so terrible? So Unruly once again, and that's another recommended one. It's pretty long, 135 minutes, and it's well photographed on the island, and mostly for the inside, where we're looking at the interaction between the girls and this director trying to hold things together with them all. So once again, that's called Unruly. You want to check that one out, Bill?
Beautiful. You picked a couple of good ones today by the sound of things.
Yeah. No, just the last few minutes. This last one I was quite impressed with, and I think you might want to check this one out. It's called Troll Hunter, and this one is a lot of fun. And it comes in at 103 minutes, and it's a bit of a comedy horror story. It's a bit of a difference there, and from Norway. And the trolls over there, of course, are the mythical creatures, maybe or maybe not being mythical. They believe in them very strongly over there, where they come out of the forest and are pretty dangerous with people, and you got to watch out for them. They're a big, enormous, as I say, forest treading living creatures. And we have apparently a secretive government society which is employed to maintain the troll population and also protect the public from these creatures who may be breeding a bit longer and being a bit of a threat to public safety, as you can imagine. But this is a wonderful film, which I thoroughly enjoyed because it's quite funny in many things. It's very humorous and yet pretty a little bit suspenseful and horror things when you have some of the troll hunters, which do occasionally make acquaintances with the humans around. So recommended that one. That's a retrospective film that actually came out in 2020. It's 2 years ago, and it's great to see that come back with some of the other ones at the Scandinavian Film Festival. So a couple more films for you to check out, Bill, and you other people listening to the Scandinavian film going right through once again to August 2. So
beautiful.
Wow.
All right, thank you very much, Sig, for coming on today and breaking your trip up in where are you? Far North Queensland.
Port Douglas, yeah.
Port Douglas, yeah. And temperature down here is still 6 degrees, and it's up to 18 degrees now, is it?
Oh, it's up here. It's 22. Yeah, it's very nice. It's interesting up here, and then this lovely holiday playground with a lot of fishing and snorkeling and water activities. There's not a cinema in town that I can see. There's a lot of other things to do.
Beautiful. Enjoy, mate, and we'll catch up with you with Hillary and Tony next week.
Excellent. Thanks, Bill.
Bye for now.